And welcome everybody to episode 2 of Against the Spread. I am your host, Aaron Clefter, along with my counterpart, Jean Clayton. John, how you doing?
I am doing great. Up 6.5 units from the first time we bet, which was 2 weeks ago, 1 episode ago. We have the live book. You could place your bets in. You do not have to be a member of the league. Anybody could get them in. How'd you fare?
0.7 units up. You know, I'll take it. Positive right out the gate. Not too shabby.
Green's better than red.
Can I get a hell yeah?
So let's go over the current standings in the league so far. We have, I guess really to nobody's surprise, a well-oiled machine in Utes Rebellion, 3-0.
3-0, no signs of slowing down. And who do we got all the way at the bottom? None other than Murphy's Law. 0-3, not a good start. Can't say we didn't expect it. John, what do you got for them?
Couple of tough losses for Murphy's Law to put him there. I mean, he's been, within fighting distance, I would say, in 2 or 3 of those matchups. And in our first matchup, we have the Anthony Davis football team versus the West Canaan Coyotes. The only thing more surprising than the Chicago Bears being 3-0 is that the Anthony Davis football team is 2-1. The line here, 4.5. The Anthony Davis football team is getting 4.5 points right here. It's not enough. Give me the Canaan Coyotes. Give me them big. I say they cover double digits.
So we got no Michael Thomas, most likely. We definitely have no Christian McCaffrey. No Cortland Sutton. That tells me, hit the Coyotes, run with them. I don't care what the spread is. They win this by 20.
What are you doing?
And John, why don't we throw it to our Commissioner's Corner?
Dan, what do you got for us?
Welcome to the second iteration of the new and improved Commissioner's Corner. A lot of headlines to get to, so let me just jump right into it. James obviously still winless on the season.
And thank you for that, Commish. Thank you for that segment. That was great. And speaking of Dan, let's go to his matchup. Matchup number 2. We have Circle the Wagons. They're minus 7.5 against Deuces Wild. What do you have here, John?
Well, anytime you're getting Deuces Wild plus 7.5, you got to really take a strong look into that. Circle the Wagons, smoke and mirror type team. Don't really think they have it together here. Playing a lot of quarterback shuffle, picking the wrong guy every week. Mahomes leads Deuces Wild to an improbable comeback last week. I'm going to stick with them until they prove me wrong. Give me Deuces Wild 7.5. Aaron.
I love that pick. I think that's easy. Not only am I taking Deuces Wild 7.5, I'm also taking them money line. I mean, Circle the Wagons, they're just not the type of team that should be giving points like that. Not very good. John, what do you think?
Well, anytime an unlikely candidate like Circle the Wagons gets points, you got to look into, all right, well, how many other skewed lines have there been? And speaking of guys who never really get a lot of points, Aaron, let's head right into our
Doink of the Week.
Here comes Jared Allen, and he's out of bounds. Poor guy, I don't even know if he realized it. But actually, Colt Anderson is behind him. And what in the world? And, he hits the upright again! That's impossible!
Double doink.
What in the world?
Go!
I've never seen that thing. I hope I never see it again, John.
All right, John, for this week's Doink of the Week, not a huge surprise here. We have Murphy's Law. Has played A.J. Green for 3 straight weeks. Has a combined 10.5 fantasy points on the year.
That's one of those head scratchers, and you look at a guy like Randall Cobb on the waiver wire. You could pick him up. Last week alone, he had, I think, more points in one game than A.J. Green has had all year. So you pick that guy up, you plug him in. Maybe you're 2-1, but you keep playing A.J. Green, you keep making moves like that. You're destined for failure, and it's even worse when it's by that much. So this week, the Doink of the Week goes to Murphy's Law, and he is, if he doesn't change his picks, he's going to be here next week too. And with our third matchup of the week, we have Any Given Sunday versus the Rolling Stoners. This one's going to be a close one, Aaron. Why don't you just dive right into it? Tell me what you got.
Well, you say it's going to be a close one. The spread right now is Rolling Stoners -8.5. I still like AGS to finish somewhere near the bottom of the standings. I think Rolling Stoners actually run through him pretty easy as well. They have a little bit of a quarterback dilemma. They can't decide, is it Kyler, is it Josh Allen? I don't know. Does he know? He doesn't seem to know. What do you have, Sean?
He doesn't seem to know. I mean, he's sitting guys like Clyde Edwards-Helaire, his first-round pick. He's constantly playing the wrong quarterback. You know, Josh Allen's on fire, and all of those points have been on his bench. So hopefully he can straighten things out. You know, maybe get a third wide receiver or a tight end that can actually put up some points. And he'll get a win there. But I like that spread at 8.5. And give me the Stoners. I'm going to take the Stoners big. I'm going to take them by double digits until AGS can just straighten things out.
John, is it me or does it feel like there's fall in the air?
You know what? The weather's been hot.
Sim
It's starting to change. The Halloween decorations are out. What does that remind you of?
You know what it reminds me of? Besides football, postseason baseball.
And although we're a show dedicated to fantasy football and betting on it, who doesn't love a little baseball? So why don't we just swing it over to our first commercial and knock this one right out of the park?
Yeah, you could say life is pretty good. And just when you think it can't get any better, it's got a way of pulling you under.
Everybody's coming down to meet the METS Mets of New York town.
And isn't that something? You know, even if your team's not in it, you're still alive. Go cash in that Pepsi can and get yourself some tickets for next season. But on to our fourth matchup, Aaron. You want to take it from here?
Sure, we have Oots Rebellion versus Real Deal. We have Oots Rebellion is -19.5 over Real Deal. Jean, what do you have for this one?
Oosh Rebellion, as I mentioned before, just well-oiled machine. They are not slowing down anytime soon. And a team like Real Deal, just coming off that heartbreaking loss, I don't see them even standing. This game's over after the 1 o'clocks on Sunday. Give me the Rebellion by over 30.
See, this one is tough for me here, Jean, because this is a big spread. But when you have a team owner like Josh Coons of Real Deal, who is sitting Aaron Rodgers, you're sitting Travis Kelce. I mean, what are you doing?
What are we doing? Yeah.
What are we doing? I'm still gonna very, shakily take Real Deal and the points for this one.
I guess you don't like to win money.
It's just too much.
That's what we do on this
points.
show. We win money
It's
and
just too many points.
Okay.
Real Deal covering. All right, Jean, and before we get to our final matchup, our matchup of the week, why don't we throw it to our
Stat Guy.
Thank you, gentlemen, and Don Kavorski here with another eye-boggling stat of the week. So, Oots Rebellion is 3-0 atop the leaderboard. The last 3 teams to start the season 3-0, all 3 of them in the championship. 2 out of those 3 won it. The only reason the third team didn't, both Josh and Rob Hood started 3-0 in 2018 and met in the championship. Anthony Davis did it last year. Can the Rebellion do it this year? It's going to be hard to find out.
All right, in our 5th and final matchup, our matchup of the week, it's the Shed Bowl, ladies and gentlemen. We have Murphy's Law versus the Gotham Rogues. It's a pick'em. It's a pick'em.
Games like this, it really to be a pick'em. I mean, when you go down the line and you look at this matchup, it's ugly. It's cringeworthy to look at this.
Get chills
You
thinking about
get
it.
chills. You know, we got a guy who traded a king's ransom to get Rob Gronkowski. He's not even playing him. Lamar Jackson doesn't look like himself. He's playing Keenan Allen, who I don't know about that. And now the other guy, he's continuing to play A.J. Green. He's relying on Cam Newton to get him all these points. I mean, this is just going to be a low-scoring game. But news in my ear, Murphy's Law now, bottom of the screen here, plus 500 to go winless on the season.
Oh.
The odds are now up to plus 3,500. He wins the championship.
Oh.
Am I reading that right, Aaron? I mean, what do you got in this matchup?
I mean, I'd hate to pour on here, but you know, it's just a disaster. Murphy's Law 0-3. You know, you wish you could say this is unexpected again. You know, but it's just not. It's just year in, year out. It's just constant failure, and it's just disappointing to see Murphy's Law. You know, I can't take them. You know, I hate the Gotham Rogues, but there is just no way I'm taking Murphy's Law. I take Gotham Rogues by at least 15 here. Just an absolute disaster. James should get ready to sleep in that shed.
Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. We've got another treat for you come Sunday morning. You will be able to bet on the MFL. You do not have to be a member. It worked out pretty good in week 1. I was up a few units. You were up also as well. But the lines will change. Aaron, why don't you tell them a little bit about that?
So obviously, the lines we gave you today, they're unofficial lines. It's still early in the week. We pre-record, so it's not going to come out until later. The actual lines will be out Sunday morning. Get ready. Max bet $50.
Everybody, good luck. If you haven't poured on Murphy's Law, just keep on adding to it. Throw gasoline on that fire. And everybody, have a great week 4. And we will see you next week.
Another week in the books.
Spicy meatballs!
You mind if I get in?